Hi, I'm Claudia Brown Coulter with Pivotal Peace. I'm your go to mediator for navigating divorce while parenting children with special needs. I'm also a legal document assistant, LDA, based in the greater Los Angeles area. Today, it's Monday, and we are talking specifically in mediation about extra child support, that long term child support that you might need if your child has special needs. Okay, so listen. In every divorce, child support is an issue. Whether you guys agree and you stipulate to zero child support dollars, child support has to be addressed because the court maintains jurisdiction over the issue of child support until your children reach the age of majority. But what if you have children who are going to reach the age of majority or have already reached the age of majority and they will never be independent? They will never be able to live on their own, have a job, those types of things. It could be they have disabilities intellectually or physically. It could be that those issues can get worse over time. Let me say it this way, your fiduciary responsibilities do not stop when your child becomes an adult. We all know that, right? Your children can be 40 and they still need some money from you from time to time. Child support has stopped. Your child is independent, right? They're an adult. They got kids of their own. But specifically, though, the costs, your children, when they've reached the age of majority, if they can't care for themselves, they cannot support themselves. Their needs haven't changed. Their need for medical insurance, their need for therapy appointments to pay all these different people, none of that has changed. They turned 18. These things didn't suddenly go away. So you need to know about what you can do next. So like I said, your fiduciary obligations don't end. You are legally responsible to care for your child. And if they are unable to care for themselves, you, as their parent, that responsibility will continue to fall upon you while you are still on this earth. They're going to need medical care. They may need physical therapies. They could use other types of therapies. They may need emotional support. You may need emotional support, right? Like you may need time where you can recharge, because if your child's disabilities are so severe that it is best for them to live at one house, at one place, that means you never get a break. That's something you need to begin to think about of, I need some respite care. I need some time away. Yes, this other parent is spending time with them, and yes, they're sending money, but money does not fill my tank. Money does not allow me to have a break and get recharged unless it's so much money that we've got somebody who can stay in the house with them for a few days and care for them. Okay, so we have our traditional child support calculator. We're looking at the gross income of both parents. We're also looking at the amount of overnights for your kids that they spend with each parent. But the other things you have to think about, I mentioned this before, they have extra expenses. They've got, extra medical expenses. They've got therapies. Now, depending on their age and if they're in school, and sometimes, for students with severe disabilities, they may have extended school year, and then they may end up being in the school system until they're 21 or 22. And with that, some of those therapies might be included as part of their education. You could also be spending extra money on therapies outside of the school setting, but regardless, once they have finished school, once they've graduated, the school's not going to be providing those therapies anymore. So you've got to find those therapies for them, and you've got to pay for them. So you want to begin to document that. You want to think about, what monies are we spending now and what could potentially happen in the future? And one of the best ways to document it is to look in the past and keep a record. Pull up your receipts, look at your bank statements, go online to your online banking account and see, and just, those are really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to see how much money you spend, but see, how much money am I spending on average? If you don't even want to go back and do that, then start today. How much did we spend this month? This is the last day of September. How much did I spend in September? Or no, let's start tomorrow, the first day of October. How much did we spend? How much are we spending every month on these extra needs? Now, if you need additional support, you can, of course, you can go to the court. You can fill out an FL 300 and have a request for orders and ask the court to make a decision for you, right? Now, one of the things you're thinking about is not only their current expenses, but what could their future expenses be? Do they have a medical condition that as they get older, as they age, it is going to require more and more care because they're going to unfortunately deteriorate and their life expectancy is shorter? These are things you need to be prepared for. Now, if you're someone in that situation, you're already prepared for it, right? But I need you to think about the money and how much additional child support you might need. Even if everything is 50-50, you guys are both going to have to make sure you're contributing equally to these additional therapies. So really think about that future. So like I was saying, yes, you can go to court and request orders, but the best place to do that is in mediation. The best place is to have a conversation with your current spouse, soon to be former spouse, or just your former spouse, of how do we handle Charlie? I'm just going to pick a name out of the blue. Charlie's needs as he gets older. We're getting older. As he ages, we're going to age. And pretty soon we're not going to be able to lift him, or we may need a break, or we may need to even think about him needing to be in a residential facility because we are not always going to be able to physically care for him, and we are not always going to be on this earth. These are the conversations I need you to start thinking about having. Yes, you can go to a judge. The judge is going to hear you. They're going to be sensitive. Requesting additional child support for adult children with severe special needs, that's not uncommon. It's not going to be like, oh my God, you're the first person in the history of the state to ever ask for that. Not at all. Not at all. Not at all. But the more you can make agreements together, the better it will be for your child, your adult child, and for you. Child support would still need to happen because their medical needs and their additional needs and their housing needs, those things don't stop. The other thing I really want you to be thinking about, a couple of things. When you are gone from this earth, if they hopefully have a condition that does not shorten their life expectancy, they're going to need additional monies. Do you have life insurance policies? Do you have a trust? And not any trust. You're going to need a special needs trust so it doesn't interfere with any government assistance they're also getting. It doesn't, so if a family member dies and gives them an inheritance, it doesn't interfere with that. It's set up the right way. You need extra support. You need to ask for that extra support. Talk to your co-parent. Seek mediation help if that conversation isn't going well. Okay, but ask for it. It is something that your child is entitled to. They are legally entitled to be taken care of. It doesn't have to be pulling teeth. You can do this. I'm more than happy to help you and your co-parent have conversations around this so to make sure that your beautiful children have the support that they need for as long as you guys are on this earth and as long as they are on this earth. Have a great Monday.